And the Hebrew writer says that God is the author and the finisher of our faith. He's saying that for every narrative that God writes in our lives, that for every storyline that God gives, he says behind each one of those wonderful narratives that God is writing something, that God is writing and rewriting some scripts. And there are some of you here today that can testify that your narrative didn't start out right. There's some of you that can testify that your narrative didn't start out the way you wanted it to start out. There's some of you that can testify that your narrative started out where you were on the bottom. And your narrative didn't start out real good. But because God was working in the background, God was rewriting and writing your script. And you're not what you used to be because God keeps writing your script. And there ought to be some folk online that can testify. Baby, you don't know what I used to be. But when I gave my hand to God, he rewrote that script because God is working in the background and God is moving in the background. And I don't know what you feel right now, but what I do know is that God is working in the background. And I don't know what our economy is going to look like. And I don't know what our social services are going to look like. And I don't know what the health of America is going to look like. But what I do know is that God is the author and the finisher of our faith. And God is still rewriting our script. And there ought to be a testimony that comes out of what we're going through. And your testimony ought to be that I ain't worried no more. Because if God can take care of me, he can take care of you too. And there ought to be some folk in here that don't mind testifying that God is in the background and he's rewriting your script. How do you know he's rewriting your script? Because I woke up this morning and had the activities of my limbs. I woke up this morning and was able to give God some praise. I woke up this morning and didn't know how I fell asleep last night, but he touched me, like grandmama and them said, with the finger of love, and my eyes flew open, and behold, a brand new day. Is there anybody here today that knows that God will take care of you? Well, if you know that God will take care of you, I dare you to lean over to your family member online today and say, I don't know what you're going through, but what I do know is be not dismayed, because whatever betide, God will. Somebody shout, God will. And to some mothers in the kitchen right now, and you're making Sunday meal, I dare you to lean over one time, over that pot roast, over that turkey, over that ham, and say, the Lord will provide. Is there anybody here today that knows that God will provide? Well, I dare you to rear your head back and shout, I know God will. I know he'll take care of me. How do you know he'll take care of me? Because if he takes care of the birds and they can fly in the sky and never worry about a meal, if he can clothe the lilies of the field, then certainly God can take care of me. Well, how do you know he's taking care of me? Because I'm eating every day. I'm working every day. And the Lord is providing for me. Well, how don't you help me worship God today and lift up your hands and give the Lord some praise? Because the Lord will take care of you.